Today in the crypto space, we have a bit of hesitation throughout the market. Bitcoin right around that $52,000 level and Ethereum right around that $3,000 mark, yet up approximately 1.5%. The rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, are pretty much in a buy the dip scenario. We have a few pullbacks throughout the market. However, guys, is this the beginning of a further continuation to the downside? In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one altcoin, one project that definitely pulled back and is so far getting a bit of a bounce, and that project is called Joystream. So you know what, let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. And the best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here. Bitcoin still going sideways within a nice sideways consolidation. Definitely looking like a stable coin. Planking sideways is basically something that we need in order to continue seeing strength in the altcoin market. Ethereum is still showing a bit of strength. It's up approximately 1.7% as we speak. Definitely still outperforming Bitcoin, and some of these altcoins are still running. However, guys, we are getting a few pullbacks. Let's kind of see what's going on here with this market. Solana coming down to lower levels, down approximately 4.5%. Not the greatest look, while the rest of the market is looking a bit green and, still grinding to the upside, while Solana looks a little slumpy. I'm not really crazy about that one. Maybe we get some support at the nice $100 level, psychological level, and that could probably be the scenario. So let's be careful here with Solana. Look for support before you start scaling in. It does look like it's making a slightly lower low at the current moment. Let's continue going down. Few dips. You can see that there's a few retracements here. Dogecoin down approximately 5%. Not enough for me to get absolutely bullish in the sense that I'm going to be start deploying more capital. 5% is not enough for me. I want to see double-digit dips. I want to see that the market is getting fearful again, and then I'll be deploying more capital. Right now, this is a healthy breather. And you can potentially see that a lot of these altcoins are still within structure. Chainlink breaking structure to the downside, making that lower low after a double top type of scenario. Not the greatest. AVAX still grinding to the downside. I see that as well. Down 2.7%. And, across the market, you're definitely seeing a bit of a slumpy price action, but a lot of them, like I mentioned, is still holding up. In fact, look at Polkadot. DOT is doing okay. Although it's in a retracement, it is still holding the previous low. As long as it stays above the previous low, structure is still intact. It's very likely that we continue to the upside, and this is something that we got to consider. In the short term, a lot of these altcoins are still showing strength. Look at IMX, for example. Higher highs, higher lows, still doing its thing. Caspa, higher highs, higher lows. As soon as we start breaking structure to the downside, changing the character of this trend, that is when we need to show a bit of more concern. And of course, zooming out does really help to see the big picture of things. Okay, what else do we have here? Cosmos coming down. BitTensor Tau slowly rolling over a little bit. A bit of a retracement. Guys, you know how bullish this project is at the end of the day. I don't expect dips to really last long here on BitTensor. Any dips should be bought, in my opinion. Obviously, not financial advice. We have Leocoin running to the upside, but only 3.6%. I think just the market structure is starting to look really bullish. Filecoin had its move already. A little bit of hesitation here. Optimism looking okay, up approximately 5% today, not bad. But then you start getting into the red for some reason. A bit of red here. Aptos, Near Protocol, and many others. VeChain, Injective. We have Celestia, TIA. Honestly, I'm waiting for TIA to get into a bit of a retracement, a further retracement to the downside, and look for that support so that it can scale in at lower levels. I want to build a position on Celestia, but not at the tops. I'm looking for retracements. I want to buy those bottoms, guys. We buy low, sell high. That's how we are profitable. Render, it looks like the hang time is real. It looks like it wants to roll over, guys. I'm going to be very patient here on render. The graph got its pump, got its wake-up call. It's got its first proof of life in a long time. You know, a bit of a pullback for profit taking, and it's very likely we see another leg to the upside, especially these late bloomers, these ones that just came out of nowhere, you know, and started pumping in the last little while. Expect a bit of a retracement for people that are profit taking, and then a continuation to the upside. We want another leg up. That's basically what we're looking at. Monero getting a bit of a retracement back to its previous price action, up approximately 8%, looking pretty good. I guess there's a lot of Monero bulls out there that are gonna be buying this dip, and you can see that, you know, there's still some good price action in Beam. Very nice, grindy, but it is double topish. You can see those two double tops with class A, with bearish divergence, class B bearish divergence. You know, honestly, take a bit of profits, guys. If you're in some really good gains, I would suggest that you get defensive on those gains and trail up a stop loss, because if Bitcoin does come down, and I can bet you that a lot of this negativity is based on the fact that Bitcoin did dip a little bit, and it did rally up, and then it did dip really quickly. Now the question is that what will happen to this market when Bitcoin does get a retracement? Guys, you're going to expect these altcoins to get into a fire sale, and of course we'll be buying all those dips. Already coming down, we have Bitcoin. You can see the Bitcoin narrative is looking a little bit sloppy, given the fact, again, more negativity on Bitcoin's little dip today, just a slight one. Look what it caused, right? We have Bitcoin token rounding off a little bit. It's up almost 50% for the week, which is very, very healthy. And as we go, you can see that the overall scenario is pretty much the same. We got dips, 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 dips. All these are pretty much the same. You can see we're getting a few dips. Some of them are worth buying, some of them not so much. 5% is not enough for me. I want those double-digit gains. All right, guys. So the general market, as we can see it, the consensus is that we're experiencing a bit of red, but I wouldn't be too aggressive on this. Ultimately, it's the beginning of the week. We had a long weekend in the sense that the holidays were there, and finally the market opens and there's a bit of a sell-off. We got some green price action throughout the weekend, so a bit of a sell-off is expected after that, and profit taking and all that good stuff. So let it dip, let you know, at least 24 hours come around, and let's see what happens here. You know, ultimately we're going to be watching Bitcoin as an indicator to tell us what we should be doing. All right, speaking of Bitcoin, I know you're here to talk about charts. Let's begin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. What's going on here? Bitcoin is going sideways, and on the daily you can see its hesitation at right around 52k. I don't expect any big moves in the immediate short term, given the fact that the RSI is rolling over, as you can see here. You know, getting a bit of rejection coming down is very, very likely here, as it has done in the past many times. And you can see also the MACD is not looking really good either. You know, potentially looking for that EMA cross at any moment and getting some red histogram bars. And of course we are looking forward in this case, you know, trying to front run the scenario. But generally speaking, guys, you know, Bitcoin is looking a bit frothy. Let's look at this in a little bit more detail and see what's going on here. The MACD at the end of the day is still in the bullish control zone. EMAs are still open, facing up with green histogram bars. However, guys, keeping in mind that this could be the zone where we start to see its descent, as we've seen pale green histograms before. I don't want to front run this because we could stay open and continue going to the upside, but I just want to bear in mind that at any moment we could see this EMA cross. Now, just bear in mind that the MACD is a lagging indicator, okay, in the sense that it represents the data a little bit later than it actually played out. So it's basically lagging behind the price action, which means that we got to almost look forward thinking. We got to have a vision here. And the vision for me is very likely to see an EMA cross. And the way it looks right now, it looks like it's getting a bit exhausted. So do we get back down here? Maybe. Let's let it do its thing. Let's see at least one EMA cross and one little red histogram bar for that confirmation. It's the RSI that's bothering me here, guys. We're overbought, definitely. You know, we're hesitating right around this level, and I'm going to get into the 4-hour here in a second, but let's kind of look at this price action from a big picture one more time, and let's see what's going on here. You can see that we're in a nice rising type of megaphone pattern. We can essentially even bring this up even a little bit higher, in a sense, to kind of match up with some of these other tops, one top, two tops, and another one, and another one. Yes, we broke above. Do we hesitate here and get right back in? It's possible here, guys. It's definitely possible to touch the 40,000, the 33K, 32K zone, and maybe as worst case scenario back all the way down to about 25K. I don't think it's going to happen that we get lower than that. 25K is my absolute bearish target. If it does come down there, guys, you know what I'm going to be doing is slapping and spamming those buy orders, because that would be an absolute fire sale scenario, not only on Bitcoin, but you know what's going to happen to those altcoins, right? Altcoins will be coming down. So ultimately, we're in a good state. We're in a good scenario here. Bitcoin going sideways. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Quick. We can see that the Bitcoin price is pretty much sideways while the momentum is still downward sloping. Guys, that's class B bearish divergence. I'm not crazy about those types of signals at resistance. Now, class A would be a lot better if we were getting higher highs on the price action, excluding the wicks, because we did get a couple wicks in the last little while. You can see that red candle, that red wick went straight up and straight back down. That's what we saw today, that dip, and all of a sudden, you know, it's kind of hesitating right here in the middle again, which is totally fine. But ultimately, as we see the momentum fall, the question is, when is the price action going to get exhausted and maybe fall to those lower levels? 44K is the first bearish target. As you can see, a little bit of a volume gap, and come back to this range. And ultimately, all within this range is a zone that I'm expecting support. Even if we come down to about here, we could get some support. Still not a buy order opportunity for me on Bitcoin, but maybe some of those altcoins looking for early entries. All right, guys, let's move on. Today's video is all about Joystream. Joystream, great project. Honestly, the price action in the last little while was a highly manipulated scenario. Let's talk about this for a second. You know, when we do get pump and dump schemes, usually what ends up is a lot of fear enters the market. You get a group of people that buy it all up, pump it all up, and then all of a sudden, you know, spread a layer of FUD or whatever the case is, and the price drops, right? So this is where we're at. A very undervalued scenario based on nothing. No fundamentals suggest that we should be bearish here. If you look at the Joystream fundamentals, it is solid. Great team, great product, utility, definitely there. You have a DAO that is really strong, well designed. You have a team that listens to their users, and not only users as the end users of Joystream, but the creators of Gleave, the creators behind the content that gets posted. They're listening. They're listening to the requests, such as myself, right? So I do post all my videos on Gleave, and I'm a creator as well on the Gleave, in the sense that I create NFTs on Gleave, and they sell. People buy NFTs, people sell NFTs, and you can earn royalties on those NFTs and all that good stuff. And of course, just recently they've announced an update on basically their ability to onboard YouTube creators. Now, for me, that's a really interesting concept on how they can basically onboard content from YouTube creators to the Gleave website or the Gleave platform without API access. And for me, that's very important. I don't know anybody that's willing to give API access very freely to their YouTube account, given that, you know, for a lot of us, it takes years to grow and a lot of effort, and giving up API access is a bit risky. So in this case, they found a solution. Listening to the creators. Great stuff here, guys. You know, when you see a team that is dedicated to its product and to its users, guys, for me, that's really bullish. And when you see price action come down for no reason at all, it gives you a sense that you should be buying the dip, and taking a bit of risk here was absolutely great. Now, all of a sudden, you know, you start to see Joystream right now, it's up 18% from this level. This level, you know, we got a bit of a confirmation that market participation was definitely interested. We got a spike of volume here on the volume profile. We had price action looking left, holding up, and it did fall through the volume gap and did react. Of course, a little harsher with the momentum, fell right through the volume gap with a little bit more. Now, I do see that the price action is trying to get right above it, get right through it, and perhaps, you know, get above the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. I really want to get back into the daily here for a second so we can look at momentum, and you can see that it did get oversold. Really good indication that it's likely that it will not stay here for too long. Okay, we could definitely come right back down, get back into the accumulation zone with all these market participants here on this cluster of supply and demand on the volume profile. But look at this MACD. The MACD is looking great. EMAs are facing up, green histogram bars to the upside. It does look like right now Joystream is trying to recover from this dump, right? The dip is definitely being bought here across the board. So what do we do here? We can expect that, you know, as we continue to the upside, that we get overbought. If this thing gets overbought, it's likely that we're going to reclaim previous price action. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a higher high or not, but definitely getting back back to a spot where we can understand where true value is. And very likely true value would be at the current state, at a risky spot, would be at about 40 cents. 44 cents, sorry. 4 cents would be a level where I would start to get defensive. You know, volume profile is not the cleanest or not the clearest, giving us too much data. You know, I look for, you know, empty volume gaps and so on. We can assess this and look at price action looking left and say, you know what, maybe right around here might be a good time to take a bit of profit. Why? Because, you know, ultimately from its current state, where we are right now, its current price from the entry at the green arrow, you guys know my green arrows, to this level right here, you've already doubled your money. So taking half on the double in the current at this current level would de-risk you 100%, in the sense that the rest of the capital that you have left into the trade is basically house money. So no matter what happens, whether it goes up, down, it doesn't matter. All it is house money. You took your initial investment off the table. You start looking for other projects that have dipped, and you never know, Joystream might come down for a bit of a correction, a confirmation, and then all of a sudden you can get back in with this capital that you took off the top, right? That's the way you think about it. Taking half on the double is a very aggressive way of protecting your initial investment. And of course, another strategy would be to trail up a triggered stop loss, just in case it does roll over. You can, you know, basically cut your losses and exit at a profitable stage, and consider yourself a profitable trader. And also, you can also couple that up with taking a bit of profits off the top. Taking 10% is absolutely fine to reduce your position size. So ultimately, what I'm saying here, guys, is at this zone, right, we have previous price action and a bit of volume profile suggesting that, you know, coming up to this level, de-risk a little bit. It's okay to hold spot. It's okay to have a bit of a position. But if you're up 100%, take a little bit of the profit off the top so that you can call yourself profitable. The EMAs, again, the RSI is looking really good on the daily, and the MACD is looking really, really good. Green histogram bars to the upside. And I'm looking at this level as a level of resistance. Now, you know, could we make a higher high here? It is very possible that we can make a higher high here. We want to see that the market is going to respond very strong. We want to see that our altcoin season is definitely here to stay. We see Ethereum holding a bit of strength. We see Bitcoin going sideways. Joystream could definitely recover and make that higher high. And if you get an entry at this level, you know, you basically bought a bottom. And this is why DCAing at the current level is absolutely critical. Now, we could come down for another dip. You never know. We could come down to the next level of horizontal support at about 1.2 cents. But the way things are going, we're getting proof of life. This little spike right here in this price action is suggesting that market participants are interested in getting this thing going back up. Look at all this volume right into here. Lots of volume, cross-reference with the volume profile, and these histogram bars suggest that, yes, we are accumulating and ready to get going. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Of course, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to join, follow me on those socials. The links are in the description below. Feel free to join that Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. And the best part is, it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.